Live at 9.
Is the Pamoja AFCON bid for 2027 slowly sliding out of the hands of East Africa, especially Uganda and Kenya? Well, that is something that you should look out for in today's news as we bring you exactly what was discussed in the NRM caucus that does include, not to mention but a few sovereignty bill, but also preparations for AFCON. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Coming up in the news tonight,
we shall be discussing the budget priorities
inside the NRM caucus.
Proposed National Sovereignty Bill 2025.
What was resolved about the National Sovereign Bill?
We have set the by-election.
The Yala confusion.
We shall confer with them and guide them because we think there is a misinterpretation.
Who caused the confusion that spread into Uganda?
It is true. We compensated.
KCCA says they have paid all Chitezi victims except 2 as they appeared before Kosase.
One is the one who is abroad.
Excitement in Kasese as Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere returns home after 5 months.
We noticed that many people don't have access to medical services.
And the good news is hundreds get free medical care at the Ntungama Medical Camp.
But we hope to definitely keep coming because this is home for us.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Kanari Mugume.
Welcome to NBS Live at 9. I'm joined by Olivia Nachigozi on sign language. On to our top story tonight, legislators sitting on the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises have grilled Kampala Capital City Authority KCCA officials over delayed compensation of Chitezi landfill victims. Legislators expressed concern that the delay has hindered resettlement and caused suffering. KCCA Executive Director Sharif Abzeki responded that most victims have been compensated with only 2 pending verification.
Kampala Capital City Authority officials, led by the Executive Director Sharif Abzeki, appeared before Parliament's Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to respond to queries raised in the Technical Engineering Audit Report on infrastructure projects implemented by Kampala Capital City Authority under the Kampala City Roads Rehabilitation Project.
As the area MP have heard from many of these victims.
In the meeting, the legislators grilled them over delayed compensation of Chitezi landfill victims, with MPs expressing concern over the suffering caused to affected families.
That even the compensation is coming for the few who are here are receiving compensation, especially the victims, in installments. In smaller installments, and they are not certain if they will be fully compensated.
Now, those that are complaining have not been compensated is information contrary to what the ED is telling us.
It is true. We compensated, and we have evidence that we compensated.
Buzeki responded that all victims have been compensated, except 2 are waiting verification.
We only, as he said, have 2 property owners remaining, and one is the one who is abroad. The other one is where they have a family issue where they need to agree who to pay. And my team of human settlement is with them to ensure that that is sorted. However, the money is available on the account.
On decomposing the Chitezi landfill, Buzeki said 14 acres out of 39 have been addressed, prioritizing areas prone to fires and risks.
We gave priority to the area where we were having frequent fires and where we had a big crater, where we had a very deep crater, which we thought that in the event that we don't pay attention quickly, these 2 sides may again pull and cause another danger. So the first phase of the grant concentrated on those 14 acres to ensure that we stabilize. But it can only be well explained if we are physically on the site.
Clerk, you make arrangements. We shall appoint a subcommittee of this committee to give us a report before we write ours. Okay, it will be chaired by the Honorable Mpindi Bumali. It will be, that is, it will lead. It will comprise of the Honorable Mwejuche, Honorable Nangoli, Honorable Nkunyinji, the area MP, and yeah, those are enough. Those are the ones that will go. From the technical part, the clerk, you will assign your people.
She also mentioned that KCCA procured 230 acres for waste management with an emergency plan on 5 acres.
On the confusion surrounding Yala, in a bit I'll be speaking to UPC Party President Jimmy James Akena. And uncertainty surrounds the election of representatives to replace 2 legislators, James Kakoza and Dennis Namara, in the East African Legislative Assembly, Yala. The 2 had been serving as Yala before being elected to Uganda's parliament. The uncertainty stems from the interpretation of the law on whether the 2 are still serving Yala members or if they do cease to be when they were elected to the Ugandan parliament.
Confusion lingers in Parliament of Uganda following the announcement that ELA members James Kakoza and Dennis Namara had vacated their seats after they were elected as members of the Ugandan Parliament in the January elections. Many now are gearing up to take the vacant positions, while others are afraid of losing their seats, as one must resign their position to avoid the same controversy that has seen Kakoza and Namara lose their seats.
We have set the by-election for 15 April.
So I think we need to just wait it out a little bit and not be in a hurry.
This whole saga is said to have stemmed from the directive by the EL Speaker, who declared the positions vacant and asked that they are filled by 15th April, which is less than a month away.
So Uganda operates on account of that information and organizes elections to fill the vacant positions, which definitely raises legal issues. Now, the error was made by the Speaker. He must have since been advised by the council to the community to an extent that we cannot fathom whether that will culminate into a stoppage or whether we can conduct elections and have the members rest until such a time when they can be able to take oath.
The declaration has raised many legal and constitutional questions, given that the victims of the directive are neither members of the 11th Parliament, the same Parliament that is meant to elect those who are supposed to replace them in Yala.
Those that can vote for a member of Parliament for Yala cannot compete for Yala. In fact, they cannot be members of Yala. Will Honorable Kakoza vote? Is not eligible. Can Honorable Namara vote? They are not eligible. That makes them qualified to remain in Yala.
Also, the question is someone fully a member of parliament in the national parliament before taking an oath? Because assuming that that member doesn't take an oath, does that member become an MP?
During the Thursday 26th plenary sitting, the Attorney General advised that the election processes that has begun should be suspended to allow for legal interpretation of the laws governing representation into Yala, a move the Speaker declined before confirming that elections to replace the 2 would be held next month.
For example, we have the 11th Parliament sitting now. We have MPs elect who are not in the 11th Parliament. They cannot be called MPs until they are sworn in.
There are only 2 things that can stop us from having the election: a contrary letter from Yala or a court order. But for now, we are proceeding.
Legal experts believe this can only be resolved either by petitioning the East African Constitutional Court or rather seeking counsel from the East African Council, who would direct otherwise.
And usually when there is a conflict, it's a matter that can be resolved by courts. The affected parties could pursue legal remedies.
The role of interpreting the treaty or for the establishment of the East African Community lies with the East African Court of Justice. Yes, of course, petitioning the East African Court of Justice is a given because these are employees of the community whose salaries have now been curtailed, whose emoluments, in effect, they are being dismissed for no lawful cause.
The NRM has proceeded with internal preparations to fill the positions. At least 38 aspirants were nominated this week and had their names sent to the party's top organ for vetting.
And now let's throw some perspective onto that story. Joining us is UPC Party President, that is Honourable Jimmy James Akena, to let us in on his thoughts on that. Honourable, many thanks for joining us this evening. This confusion around whether these people are still Yala members of parliament or not, is it such a big deal? Should it be really bring about confusion? After all, they're just only two.
I think the explanations which was given, and I agree with Mukasa Mbide, until they take an oath, they're not members of parliament. And the oath is very specific. So at this stage, I think it's preempting, going ahead of what should take place. Because until that point, because there are many things which can happen between now and the time when they're taking an oath. Somebody may not be available to take the oath. Somebody may maybe develop a conscience and feel that I cannot serve adequately in this particular office. In such a situation, what do? You've assumed that they have already taken the oath and they're already in office, which is not the case. And for a member of parliament, it's very specific, and you'll be serving beginning in May up to, the time when the term expires, or for some other reason. So personally, I think it is preempted. Maybe the letter from the Speaker of the East African Legislative Assembly was a bit ahead of time, because a lot can happen between now and May, when people are supposed to take the oath.
Right. So many have said that this is about their emoluments. They don't want the emoluments for the next 2 months to be cut off before it's time. Do you think it's just beyond emoluments? Why is it important to raise these procedural concerns?
I think it is very important to raise this one because, for example, if I know that many people are rushing with petitions in court. If these two members are petitioned, and we've had surprising issues. In the case of UPC, there's a case which was filed in court and concluded within 6 weeks. So if it is concluded and, for example, if either of these members are said that, okay, they were not validly elected to parliament, what then happens? Because you have lost this position basing that you've been elected to parliament, and if they are challenged in that position, what will happen? So it is preempting a lot of things in rushing to try to fill this vacancy, which is actually not a vacancy.
We've seen a number of aspirants, over 40 of them, running for just 2 slots. What is it about Yala that is seemingly attractive, even when member states are not even remitting their dues?
I think politics in Uganda has been challenged into something else, where there's so much interest in that. It's maybe a validation or the like, but what I can truly say is that we need to have conscientious members who are there to serve the people of Uganda. And that's what the oath is. The oath which you take is to uphold the Constitution and to act conscientiously as a member of parliament, which roles are clearly defined. So unless we get back to basics and really serve the interests of the people of Uganda, which would define basically what we need to do, when that becomes the priority, that's when things will be able to work. So it's not the party, it's not other issues, because you take an oath to uphold the Constitution and to serve the people.
Why then do you think NRM is rushing things to have people get nominated, set a date for the election 15th April? What is it about the rush? What does it speak to?
NRM over the last maybe year and a half have been very active on trying to, I would say, overly dominate every sphere. And they've gone excessive on many of the things which they've done. We have come out of this election with a lot of wounds. As a country, most people, at least most people I've spoken to, are not satisfied with how the elections were conducted, the processes, and some of the post-election issues which are still ongoing, and things around that one. I think NRM need to take a step back and check themselves. And we need to ask, are you doing this in the interest of the people of Uganda, or you're doing it for your own interest? Because right now it is clear that those two do not fall in the same basket.
Right. And lastly, Honorable Akena, the critics say, look, Yala ceases to be relevant in the current times when you have countries blocking trade from neighboring countries who are also partner states. You have unresolved issues over remitting of dues. You have the Secretariat staff that have not received salaries since October last year. What is the whole relevance around Yala anyway? What's the rush for Yala?
I think Yala is the place where we can address some of those questions. It's where we address the issue of regional trade, where we can push forward the issue of integration, where we can push forward the needs of the people within the East African community. How best can their futures be, their well-being and their welfare be handled? Those are questions which need to be addressed in Yala and also the national parliaments. But we need to take that step ahead and look at things beyond our parochial party basis. Because the oaths which we take, we don't take oaths to serve our parties when we're going to parliament. We take oaths to serve the Republic of Uganda, uphold the constitution, and to act conscientiously towards the citizens of Uganda. And in many cases, I can really point out that's not happening. And we need to cross-check ourselves and really get back to basics and serve the people who everything centers around the people. And if we're not serving their interests, I think we're failing in our role as members of parliament.
Jimmy James Akena, many thanks for sharing your mind on that story on Yala. Now moving on, the NRM Parliamentary Caucus sitting at State House Entebbe has this evening resolved to support the priorities in the national budget for the financial year 2026-2027 totaling to 84.209 trillion shillings.
The NRM Parliamentary Caucus that sat at State House Entebbe has backed the 84.2 trillion shillings budget for the 2026-2027, giving it the thumbs up at State House Entebbe.
This is the budget I want you to support, so that we move. But where we are going, I would want us to really see how to eventually get out of this debt. Because if our GDP now is 68 billion, if we are collecting 25% of this as tax, we would be getting something like 62 trillion in tax. And if we are not paying the debt of 32 trillion, we would actually have a surplus. You can calculate the mathematics. We can have a surplus, but because of not listening to privatization, we end up with all this wastage, 14 trillion interest.
Addressing the media at Parliament after the caucus meeting, both the government chief whip, Dennis Samson Obua, and the State Minister for Finance, Henry Musasizi, said the caucus agreed to support the budget because of the key priorities, including peace and stability, roads, AFCON, enhancement of salaries for the primary teachers, artists, and security personnel.
So AFCON expenditure is one time. The science expenditures, most of them are one time. They are not recurrent. The only recurrent are the salaries of our people. So therefore, if we focus properly, we can actually do the crucial ones.
In the total resource envelope, there is a movement from 72.376 trillion of financial year 2025-2026 to now 84.206 trillion. This is about 11.6 trillion.
Minister Musasizi says the enhancements of salaries will be in a 4-year phased manner, starting with 25% each year.
This financial year we have provided 25%. We will be providing 25% until when we get to the level where other science teachers are. And also in the primary category, we are providing 25%. We want to increase their salary to 100%, but we want to achieve this in 4 years.
Asked on the enhancement of salaries for the other public servants, the minister says it will be handled starting with the financial year budget of 2027-2028.
We've been gradually enhancing other staff. Now the PSCs have been enhanced. The commissioners in government have been enhanced. The assistant commissioners have been enhanced. And next year, we are going to enhance the principals. And the other year, we shall go to the officers until when we get to the lowest level. And when I mention commissioners, even the chief administrative officers in districts are at the level of commissioners. They are now earning 12. They have moved from the previous 1.8 to now 12 million.
Of the 84.2 trillion shillings, 1.16 trillion shillings for the enhancement of salaries, 918 billion shillings is for the construction of roads and maintenance of national roads, while 2.38 trillion shillings is counter funding for the Jinja-Kampala Express Highway, standard gauge railway construction and extending electricity in industrial parks, among others. On rising revenue to fund the 84.2 trillion shillings budget, the minister says 44 trillion shillings will be raised from the domestic revenue, and this will be realized through the new tax proposals, including a new levy of 200 shillings on each litre of fuel. He also revealed that the government has decided to increase the pay-as-you-earn for those earning from 335,000 Uganda shillings.
Still on the caucus, the NRM Parliamentary Caucus has endorsed the National Sovereignty Bill 2026, saying it aims to curb foreign financial influence in Uganda. Addressing the media at Parliament after the NRM caucus meeting at State House Entebbe, Government Chief Whip Dennis Hamson Obua stated that the bill complements existing laws like the NGO Act and seeks to regulate external funding. He adds that the bill seeks to reinforce standard practice and regulate foreign financial influence in Uganda.
The proposed National Sovereignty Bill seeks to 1. Operationalize or reinforce Article 1, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, which states, all power belongs to the people who shall exercise their sovereignty in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. 2. The proposed bill seeks to complement other existing laws, like the NGO Act. 3. The proposed bill reinforces the standard practice. We were colonized by the British. The UK has a similar legislation. So we are not inventing the wheel. Number 4, the proposed bill seeks to regulate foreign financial inflows. Those inflows coming into Uganda must be for legitimate reasons and not harmful reasons. So in a nutshell, that is the summary of the national sovereignty. We want sovereignty 100%, and we want to secure that through this law.
The Home Singer Charles Wesley Mumbere Iremangoma has returned to his kingdom 5 months since he left for medical review in Turkey. He was received by hundreds of his supporters and subjects with excitement upon arrival.
In October last year, the Musinga of Businga Rwenzori Kingdom embarked on a journey far from his ancestral home, traveling to Turkey for specialized medical review. For months, his absence was deeply felt across the Rwenzori region, with subjects holding on to hope and prayers for his recovery. In December, he returned to Uganda, but remained at his residence in Kampala, continuing with recovery away from the public eye. And now, months later, the long-awaited moment finally arrived. The king returning home. At Rugendabara, the border between Bunyangabu district and Kasese district, the first wave of jubilation unfolded. Hundreds of loyal subjects gathered, the excitement impossible to contain, traditional drums echoing through the hills, culture dances moving rhythmically as they welcome the king back to his land. The royal convoy proceeded to Hima, where yet other supporters awaited. Here, the atmosphere was not different. A blend of relief, pride and celebration as Msinga acknowledged his people. At Kisanyarazi, the final stop before town, the reception reached a crescendo. Songs of praise filled the air, and the bond between the king and his subjects was once again displayed.
All right, let's take a look at our opinion question, which you can leave a comment or two using hashtag NBS Live at 9. How can the Ministry of Health ensure that essential health services reach the population? Hashtag NBS Live at 9. Leave a comment. We'll sample some of those comments later on in the bulletin.
More to come, brought to you by
blended pure vegetable cooking oil, second best to a mother's love.
Ntungamo district today was a buzz of activities as people did turn up at Rubari Health Center for long really burdened residents to do checkups and onto their illnesses as the medical care finally gained access to essential health services at the camp. That story is coming up here on NBS Live at 9. And takes a break. We'll be back here with more stories.
Today is a good day to draw up a new play. So start something. Make your move and get in your groove. Do it for the gram. Do it for the culture. Be loud. Be extra. Be a thinker. A life eater. A Tusker light drinker. Start something. Turn on your lights. Tusker lights.
Buy genuine Decra roofing tiles, the original stone-coated alu-zinc steel roofing system from New Zealand. Choose from Heritage, Milano, Shingle, Shake and Classic profiles with a variety of colors and a 50-year warranty. Only available at Depot Uganda. Telephone 0776 898 888 or 0758 853 285. Depot Uganda. Tried, tested and trusted.
Cooking all that makes food sweet. Tastes so good like mama's keys. Sweet Thomasana, yeah. Stir gold, it's the oil you cooking oil for a tasty meal to live a healthy, happy life. Stir gold, refined, fortified, blended pure vegetable cooking oil, second best. A mother's love.
There is a new era of elegance and it begins at your event. At Peno Events, we have upgraded with fresh, modern, stylish event pieces designed to transform any space into a masterpiece. From luxury tents to elegant furniture to premium mobile washrooms, hand wash stations, lounge sets, parasols, wooden chairs, modern chair set, banquet setup. Peno Events. Safe, reliable, stylish. Book now.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
My name is Sally. I have been a teacher at your school for the last 6 years. I give my voice, my passion in shaping the future of our children.
Jina langu ni Moses. Mimi ni security guard kwa kampani yako. Nimefanya kazi hapa miaka 10 sasa. Kazi yangu inaanza wakati watu wengi wamelala.
Erinnya lyange nze Wanjiri Paul. Ndi omu ku bazimbi bo wano. Era nakakola naawe emyaka 3. Omulimu gwange ngukolera mu bugubi bw'amaanyi nnyo. Era wenkolera ensobi. Nnyinza okufuna obuvune obw'amaanyi ennyo.
Non-compliant employers should apply for amnesty before 11th May 2026 to qualify for up to 100% penalty waiver. Download the self-assessment tool from amnesty.nssfug.org or call 0800 286 773. NSSF, 40 years making lives better.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden, a thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and multi-flavor, so rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Try it. Savor it. Feel it elevate every moment. Sip after sip, gulp after gulp. After all, life's about turning ordinary thrills into golden chills.
Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of PepsiCo.
Escape the ordinary.
Welcome.
Discover the Pacho Banner, your urban oasis. Indulge in mouth-watering meals crafted with passion, served with exquisite care. From intimate dinners to grand celebrations and family reunions, our beautiful scenery and unmatched service sets the stage for unforgettable memories, and with deals perfect for family, friends, and every special occasion. The Pacho Bella is where every moment becomes a celebration.
Welcome back. You're still watching NBS Live at 9. As humanitarian aid to refugees continues to shrink, a new initiative in Chegego district is shifting the narrative from dependence to self-reliance. Thousands of refugees in Chaka 2 camp are currently being equipped with skills to earn, invest, and build sustainable livelihoods.
The Agricultural Growth and Innovation for Livelihood Enhancement project is positioning refugees and host communities in Chegegwa as active players in Uganda's agribusiness sector, with a sharp focus on the coffee value chain. Under the 2-year program, beneficiaries are being trained in practical skills ranging from production and nursery bed establishment to post-harvest handling, processing and marketing.
And we are looking at having 60% female and 40% male. This project aims at enhancing the skills of the youth through the TVETs, and it also aims at creating jobs.
According to the country director, War Child Pares Anis, the project is designed to move beyond basic farming and instead build a complete ecosystem of skilled actors.
And we are working across the value chain with various stakeholders. So farmers, the nursery bed owners, the businessman, the factory owner, the one who are processing. We are organizing youth into VSLA, Village Saving Association.
The project comes at a time when many refugees are facing reduced humanitarian support. Martin Maku says the changing funding landscape has made such interventions urgent.
They are very vulnerable. So when we educate, when you train them, they are going to get certificates of the UVTAB,
and then they'll be able to get employed anywhere. And through this, they'll be able to be sustainably employ themselves instead of all the time looking for handouts.
So far, the project has enrolled 1,553 refugees of the total beneficiaries, including 515 youth, alongside 1,038 members of the host communities.
We are teaching the youth to serve with a purpose. When the youth serve with a purpose, they can easily invest their money.
According to the program manager at the European Union in Uganda, Dahman Sofian, the initiative is anchored in private sector partnerships under the EU strategy.
We engage as the starting point with the private sector. We directly ask them what are their needs in their operations and in terms of expanding their businesses. Then we co-work with them, we co-design with them skilling initiatives.
Beneficiaries are also being organized into village savings and loan associations, enabling them to save, access credit and invest in agribusiness.
The Minister of Finance, Matia Kasaija, has appealed to private sector players to partner with the government in promoting programs aimed at curbing climate change and conserving the environment. This appeal came as the 5-day 9th Uganda Water and Environment Week concluded at the Ministry of Water and Environment in Kampala.
Speech read by the Minister of Water and Environment, Sam Cheptoris, he emphasized that for the government to conserve the environment and mitigate the negative effects of climate change to succeed, public goodwill is crucial, especially in daily activities. The minister urged citizens to scale up economic growth responsibly, ensuring that natural resources supporting livelihoods are not destroyed.
The tenfold growth target requires the involvement of all, including the business community and ordinary citizens, to create a sense of ownership.
The Minister of Water and Environment also reinforced Kasaija's message, criticizing some urban Ugandans' lifestyle choices and warning of worsening climate repercussions and poor health outcomes. He illustrated his point by sharing his personal health and lifestyle story.
I don't use your cooking oil, this one. I use what they call olive oil. I don't drink your milk. I drink what they call plant milk. Milk from a plant. It's called almond milk, milk from a plant. So, I can see, if you want to be like me, but not as thin as me, but if you want to survive, because I think the doctors were giving me another 30 years, and I think I can make it.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Water and Environment, Alfred Okidi, launched several reports and key sector documents, including one on greenhouse gas emissions in Uganda. He appealed to participants to implement the outcomes of the conference beyond just the pages of these reports.
I hope that the celebrations of OWEC 2026 have provided opportunities for you, the participants, to rethink the existing approaches and solutions for addressing water, environment, and climate change challenges in Uganda, while building on the outcomes and the recommendations of the various global, regional, and national water and environment climate change-related events.
Activities carried out during the Water and Environment Week include a 560-kilometer walk for water from Moroto to Kampala, climate change awareness pageants, and youth debates on climate change and conservation, among others.
A growing number of farmers are turning to digital solutions to improve productivity, reduce losses and increase incomes as technology continues to reshape Uganda's agriculture sector. Through platforms like DigiFarmer, thousands of smallholder farmers are now able to access real-time information, better farming practices and reliable market opportunities, which is helping them transition from subsistence to commercial farming.
Agriculture, once seen as a traditional sector, is getting a tech makeover in Uganda. Platforms like DigiFarmer are leading the charge, blending tech with on-the-ground support to create a more efficient and structured farming ecosystem. While appearing on the Tech Connect show on NBS TV, The founder of Digi Pharma, Sachin Hanwate, explained how the platform provides farmers with practical tools such as weather forecasts, pest and disease alerts, market insights and farm management systems to guide decision-making at every stage of production.
Every month, we target to reach to at least 10,000 farmers on ground. We train each of these farmers into climate-resistant farming. We train them onto the inputs which can help them to kind of do the better kind of farming mechanism. Also, we have seen that farmers are able to build better resilience because of our weather advisory, crop information, pest and disease information. So it is really helping the farmers to kind of be prepared for all of the calamities which they might face in the future.
Beyond digital tools, Digi Pharma combines technology with human extension services, including field agents, training and farm visits to ensure farmers are able to apply knowledge effectively and improve crop quality.
Farmers do not have access to the smartphone. What we do is that we work through the agents. Currently we have about 200 agents based in all parts of Uganda. Each agent works with something like 300 farmers. The agent goes with the tablet to the farmers, collects the data with the help of digital tools. He offers the services to the farmers, and that is how farmers are accessing the services. Farmers who have smartphone, they are directly applying for soil testing, applying for financing, be eligible for the financing access, and we are also collecting this data, updating data on our platform, and we have seen this change happening for our farmers. So as I said, currently we are working with 45,000 farmers, and it is really helping them.
The platform also addresses one of the biggest challenges that farmers face, especially access to markets. And by creating direct linkages between farmers, buyers and input suppliers, Digi Pharma reduces reliance on middlemen and improves price transparency.
We are solving the access for agro-processors, financiers and cooperatives, that they are not able to monitor their farmers when they have already done the lending to the farmers. They don't have a proper monitoring mechanism of the farmers. So we are solving the problems on both the sides, which is financiers, cooperatives, agro-processors, and another side for the farmers.
Besides access to inputs, financing and insurance is being simplified through the platform, allowing farmers to operate with better planning and reduced risks. Agriculture is the cornerstone of the Ugandan economy and one of its most promising sectors. The sector contributes 24.1% to the gross domestic product, 33% of export earnings and about 70% of employment based on the Uganda Bureau of Statistics 2021-2022 data.
All right, so let's pull up some of those comments on the opinion question. It is earlier on using hashtag NBS Live at 9. How can the Ministry of Health ensure that essential health services reach the population? First comment coming in right there from Otema Zlatan says, equip the health facilities and staff them adequately and have a manageable patient-doctor ratio. Pay the health workers very well and have the best services offered with good faith. Second comment, Derek M. Taima says, strengthen primary health care. Focusing on primary health care, PHC is key. This includes building and equipping local health centers, ensuring they are staffed with trained health workers, providing basic services like maternal care, immunization and treatment of common disease. Vidi Godfrey says the Ministry of Health should put in place a monitoring department which should enforce effective and efficient delivery of medicines to health centers. In addition to that, the Ministry of Health should always use the village health committees, VHTs, since they are familiar with communities. Social Spotlight, what are your leaders saying online? The President said, this afternoon I met the NRM Parliamentary Caucus at State House Entebbe and guided them on the financial year 2026-2027 budget priorities and the importance of the Protection of Sovereignty Bill 2025. We agreed to prioritize peace and security, roads, electricity, the railway, scientific innovation, preparations for AFCON 2027. Finally, restocking in Teso, Lango and Choli, and salary enhancement for teachers TVET staff and security personnel to support Uganda's socio-economic transformation and safeguard our national interests. Very key here, AFCON 2027. And Omusinga wa Rwenzururu says Omusinga is finally back. His Majesty Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere Iremangoma, our cultural symbol of unity, peace and identity, has returned home. We warmly welcome him back and call upon all Banyarwenzururu to unite in joy as we celebrate his presence among us once again. Welcome back, Omusinga. All right, NBS Live at 9 takes a break. We're back here with more stories. We'll give you some little bit of business and then some sport.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down, just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Just Malt Lager. Alcohol is not for certain persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
There's a new way to keep your breath fresh all day. Introducing Movit All Day Toothpaste, meant to give you powerful night gum defense and teeth whitening. The charcoal flavor gives you deep cleansing and power stain removal. And the herbal delivers natural strength for healthy, confident smiles. Choose Movit All Day Toothpaste and enjoy freshness all day.
The elections are over, but our journey as a united nation continues. Democracy is more than
Wallahi, we thank you so much for this hand that you've given us, you've stretched towards Lucky Kids and the rest of the schools.
There you go, Lucky Kids Academy here in Boyogere, winning the first van. What do you have to do, Ruth, to win a van courtesy of Momo?
Just pay school fees using Momo app or press star 165 star 80 hash. Pay the school fees, then you stand a chance to win school fees or a school van.
Lucky!
This is Academy Momo!
Hey travelers, are you a family gearing up for that big vacation, a hustler working abroad coming home, or your squad chasing sunsets and passport stamps? It's time you lock in. Say goodbye to long airport queues, shocking roaming bills, and the stress of hunting for local SIM cards, because now you can travel like a local. Stay connected in over 180 countries. Just scan, tap, and boom! Instant data the moment you reach your destination. Get your Rogue Travel eSIM today at travel.roguetelcom.co.ug. Contact us on 020-5000123.
Let's have this one more time. Come closer. Nice. Show me the hands. That's nice. I love this.
Mister, it's time. The guests have been waiting for me 1 minute.
Turn to your left. Yes, nice.
By the way, so your landlord is here to attend your wedding. Oh, super.
He's not on the list.
Why?
He didn't finish his pledge.
We don't just welcome your cherished guests. We celebrate everyone.
Relief swept through Rubare Health Center 4 in Ntungamo district today as hundreds of residents long burdened by illness and costly medical care finally gained access to essential health services at a one-day mega medical camp offering free consultations, treatments and screenings. The camp was organized by the Karisa family in partnership with the Rotary Club of Chigo 7 Lakes ahead of the commissioning of the Mama Karisa maternity ward.
It was a beehive of activity as the residents of Rubari and the surrounding areas turned up in large numbers for a medical camp, organized by the Karisa family. They joined long lines to register while medical personnel conducted consultations, checkups and screenings. Many patients expressed deep relief, reporting chronic conditions ranging from joint pains, hypertension and diabetes, among others ailments they had often neglected due to high costs and frequent drug shortages at health facilities.
Obuherezo obu bwatushemeza munonga bwatukoraje munonga ahabo kuba tubire twine irwariro ryitu ribere rikoraje munonga konka habo mwijorrane oshango buyambitse twabutunga ko kubushemerire.
The camp, organized by the Karisa family in partnership with the Rotary Club of Chigo 7 Lakes Golf, offered comprehensive free services including general medical care, dental and optical services, immunization, family planning, laboratory tests and minor surgeries. For many, it was not just a checkup, but a lifeline.
Kandi na ntekateka kuba nyine muna sukari akomwerero gwa mpenzire munonga takusitama takwemerera takagendaho no gumanchikire buri kimwe cyona no kucumukorera.
This high turnout was evidence of widespread gaps in routine health care, with health officials highlighting the rising burden of non-communicable diseases in the community. The medical camp also served as a prelude to the commissioning of the new Mama Karisa maternity ward tomorrow.
Patients from very far places have met the doctors and they are really working on them very well. Some other places, of course, the drugs are not there in the villages. As we all know, villages like health center tools, they don't have enough drugs. But here, the drugs, we have brought very many drugs and patients are accessing them.
Built by the Karisa family to commemorate their mother and equipped with support from the Rotary Club of Chigo 7 Lakes Golf, the ward aims to strengthen maternal and child health services across the district.
From our needs assessment, we noticed that many people don't have access to medical services. But we hope to definitely keep coming because this is home for us.
The president of the Rotary Club of Chigo 7 Lakes, who was born at this very health center, alongside Rotarians and district officials, inspected the ward, ready to serve mothers and children across the district. Local authorities lauded the initiative, calling it a vital step towards bridging healthcare gaps, highlighting a future where accessible and affordable healthcare is within reach.
Big number have just gotten treatment and other medical checkups. Health has no boundaries because I've seen even people from Kajara, from Rohama. So likewise tomorrow, I'm calling upon you that you come and at least give the dignity of the function that it should.
Bar city authorities have asked the Ministry of Tourism to establish a revenue sharing framework and consider an equitable benefit of shared revenue from the refurbished 7.5 billion Mugaba Palace as the ministry prepares to officially launch its full operations this Saturday at Kamkuzi Hill. The palace is envisioned as a premier hub for Ankole literature and heritage, leveraging sustainable tourism to catalyze regional economic growth and redefine local cultural identity.
Standing as a silent witness to a royal past heritage is this old Mugaba Palace main gate, which served as the entrance to the royal residence of the former Ankole kings that included Gasyonga, Kahaya II, and Barije John Patrick, among others. After decades of dormancy, the long-awaited restoration of the historic Mugaba Palace at Kamkuzi Hill is complete, with the official grand opening scheduled for Saturday, March 28th, 2026.
Kubatira Mugaba Palace
yanyureka ekishani ngo bariyo bakugigura mbwe nishaba abantu mwena mwije tugirebe. Even after the launch, then it will be an open place where you can come, you tour. There will be tour guides here to walk you around so that you can really appreciate your origin, your culture as a Munyankore.
The Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities confirmed that the 7.5 billion shillings renovation project has successfully transformed the former royal residence of the former kings of Ankole into a world-class culture heritage site. Abandoned after the 1967 abolition of kingdoms, the palace now stands as the centerpiece of the Explore Ankole domestic tourism campaign.
Realize that we have literature about the Abanyankore, but it is scattered. So this is the collection center for all that. If you really want to know.
As a city is going to benefit directly and indirectly from this important site that is located within Mara city. When people come to look at the parts, of course, they must stay around. They must sleep in hotels. They must eat food. They must also move around. They must buy our products.
The Mbarara City Mayor, Robert Mugabe Kachibezi, calls upon the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to establish a revenue-sharing framework as the renovated historic Mugaba Palace commences operations.
And we say, when you collect this money as a city, we can also have a share. We shall talk to them and we shall know exactly what the city can also be, how it can benefit. You know, share the revenue. So, you never know, we can also share with them what they collect, such that we can also maintain roads because correct garbage, you know, because the tourists that will be coming, we will need to have a look at a clean city.
Your uncle wants you to get a loan. He says you should buy a Beamer to stop embarrassing him in front of his friends with your malnourished car. That you should buy one of those expensive shirts they call Versace, so that people stop spreading rumors that his family has no style. That you need an iPhone because he's tired of biting his tongue whenever he tries to pronounce that funny thing you're holding. Good thing you've got ABSA. Our loans are not designed for others to change what they say about you. They are designed to support your growth. Visit absa.co.ug for personal loans that help where it matters. ABSA, your story matters.
The Housing Finance Backed Zimba Challenge is here.
A home is a source of dignity. Very many people live their entire lives struggling to build their own home. Many cannot afford a mortgage. They cannot build incrementally because they do not have any savings left over after paying all their bills. We are offering a solution that allows for locally sourced materials. We do compressed earth blocks. Like you see, these blocks are really solid. It's 90% soil, 10% mix of cement and lime. The soil is sourced from the site. So we do a ratio of about 4 to 5, 1 bag of cement and 1 bag of lime. And when I say 4 or 5, those are wheelbarrows.
Doesn't that push the costs a bit higher compared to what you're mentioning?
No, it does not, because if you see this kind of finish on this, you really do not need to plaster. You can just apply a sealant and that house will be ready for occupancy.
Does the brick pass for the foundation, or you have to do some waterproofing around it?
We've had conversations around waterproofing the block, but because it's not tested, we do not want to rely on it. We've worked over the years with international architects, civil engineers, designers to try and see how to bring this technology to Uganda, and I'm glad to say that we are ready to roll.
Let's rethink housing. Let's rebuild Uganda. Let's Zimba together.
Tasty, delicious, some snacks. Some snacks. So yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy. Some snacks. It's so tummy, tummy. Just grab
some snacks for you. Your man, papa, your granny and your picnic. Well, if I can, the snacks for you. Come pick anything you want. Some snacks for your tummy. Yummy, yummy.
Sam's, delivering memorable moments in every household.
Looking for a vacation of a lifetime? Cross the equator and discover Pineapple Bay Resort. Enjoy exceptional life's luxuries. Spend quality time with family, friends, or even that special someone. Get in touch with nature with our range of outdoor activities. The calming tranquility of water, breathtaking views, moving memories around campfires. It's all here. Plus, a club experience like no other.
To develop innovative and affordable housing solutions. According to the head of Kweza through Zimba Challenge, Martin Muhwezi, a big percentage of citizens are struggling to construct homes on their own, while exorbitant rental prices also remain a major hurdle.
And we started with having over 150 applications coming in from across the country in the central region, western region, northern region, and eastern region. And from those ideas, we were able to analyze them and then choose the top 40 ideas that went to the next stage, which is the business idea presentation. These 40 presentations were presented before a team of judges that selected the top 12 presentations and ideas. And these moved and came to the boot camp. It is at the boot camp where we are right now, and we've been able to listen to their ideas once again, but more so to support them with skilling them in business planning so that they can strengthen their ideas.
In the Zimba Challenge, we are targeting, our target market is mostly the people, the low-income earners, people earning about 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 per month. Different participants have different ways they are solving this issue. So, they also have different targets.
Our main challenge is access to finance. We all understand that what is making housing in Uganda expensive and not easy to attain is because most people cannot afford what we call the affordable homes.
Their work, including machines and products, at the Northern Uganda Agriculture Trade Show taking place at Kaunda Grounds in Gulu.
We are glad to be here. The theme of this show is about innovation and climate-smart agriculture for better farming. This region, for example, why we believe that the Northern Uganda Agriculture Show is a place to be. We've observed over time that this place is largely, I think 80% of the population here, their economic livelihood depends on agriculture, and the products from the region are actually penetrating the market increasingly against other regions, apparently. You'll see that the highest level of grain trade in this country is actually coming from the northern part of this country. When we talk about climate change, the region suffers long spells of hot weather, especially from around November to March or February. So we believe that they need to have services closer to them that we are able to take these services to the farmer.
We have gotten to establish that a lot of the farmers out there still do not keep their money in regulated financial institutions for various reasons. A lot of it has to do with simple fear. So we felt that this audience of farmers is very important for us because we have a mandate to encourage the public to move their money from wherever it is they're keeping them to bring them into the formal financial system as part of the broader intention of building public confidence in the financial sector. So the multitudes of farmers and the showgoers who are here today form part of the primary audience that we would like to reach out to, and therefore as DPF we felt it was very important that we join this effort, and we shall be joining similar efforts that happen around the country because of the specialized cluster of an audience that they bring, the farmers themselves.
That's all we had for you on NBS Live at 9. Up next is NBS Catch Up, but you can catch some basketball on NBS Sport right there, and if you want to enjoy some games right there. But coming up right here, biggest party in the land on a Friday evening, NBS Catch Up.
Brought to you by...
We've been doing we since 1864. Smirnoff, we do we.
Hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to this Smirnoff Fiesta and another day of We Do We. You ready now? Mr. DJ on the ones and twos, my name Lash MC, the party conductor. Are ready to party with us tonight, yeah? Two and of us, Mr. DJ. Let your body move from there, grab yourself your Smirnoff and shake your body. Two and of us, Mr. DJ.